Hey guys, so today I kind of just wanted to have another sit down video and just talk to you guys. Because these are probably my favorite to film just because they're simple and I feel like I can get a lot across in such a short period of time. So today I'm going to be talking about basically improving your life and just your overall well-being. And this is coming from a note that I made on my phone back in August. I was at school then and I was kind of just feeling unmotivated and just kind of down. And I was laying in bed and I kind of just started writing all these things down into a note. Because I know when I'm down, I need to read things to kind of uplift me and just get me back to a better place. So that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm going to write myself down a note and I can always reference back to this whenever I need it. And it's February now and I still haven't deleted it because I feel like I've put a lot of good points into it. And I feel like it would just make a good video and be good points to tell you guys. So yeah, that's what I'm sharing with you guys today. Stay tuned. My first point, have a budget with your money. Whenever you receive money, whether it be from family, jobs, any of the anything at all, save some of it. My favorite thing to do is to split my paychecks in half. I put half in my checking, half in my savings. So that way, it's I can spend the money in my checking and not feel guilty about it because I know that I have some in savings and I didn't just blow my whole check on a bunch of useless crap. It's just good to have a savings account and have money saved up for those times where you really need it. Let's say you drop your phone and shatter it. If you have no money saved up, what are you gonna do? You don't have money for a phone, you're gonna have to deal with a shattered phone until you can get a new phone. Rather than if you had money saved up, you're like, oh yeah, emergency money, I can just go out and buy myself a new phone. Good thing I saved that. It's just very helpful and it's also good to have, especially for people around my age. I'm 18. Saving up money for an apartment, your own car, all that kind of stuff. It's just really good to have money saved. Because if you're just blowing all of your paychecks every time you get them, it's kind of, yeah, you get stuff. Yeah, it's nice to get stuff, but there's no substance to it. You're not working towards something. Just be careful about what you splurge on. Don't splurge on stupid things. Don't spend all your money on food. I know it's really tempting to spend all your money on food. I spend a bunch of my money on food. It's not the best thing to do. Just buy groceries, eat meals at home. Try to save money where you can so then you can actually save money and save for something that you actually would really want. I just saved up a bunch of money and finally bought myself a MacBook. That's something I've wanted for years, and had I not saved up a bunch of money, I wouldn't have been able to get it. So it just works in your favor, just saving up money rather than just spending and spending and spending. Another thing is kind of more general, but whenever you're sulking and whenever you're in a bad mood, rather than sit there and be sad, it's good to let yourself be sad if it's good to let your emotions out. But a way to get yourself out of that is always try to think of a solution to your problem, rather than just accepting the problem. Let's say you get into a fight with a friend. Rather than sitting there and being upset you got into a fight with your friend, maybe try to think of how to fix the problem. Talk to your friend. Figure out how to make the situation better. Just sitting there and sulking isn't going to solve anything, but if you actually try to think of ways to improve the situation, it benefits you in the long run. It's just definitely more positive thinking to try to think of a solution than to sulk. So, in situations where you can fix something, you can make it better, try to think of ways to make it better. This one is very important. I know all of us probably have at least one person in our lives that are like this. There's this person that you hang out with, and every time you hang out with them or you're around them, they drain so much energy out of you. Maybe you're always trying to impress them, or you're doing things for them. You're spending money on them. You're always hanging out with them. Even if you don't want to, you feel like you have to. This would be called a toxic person. Any kind of people you have in your life that are toxic and that are just overall terrible for you, and you know it, if you have thought of somebody in your head when I was talking, you know this person and you need to get them out of your life. I know it is so difficult. I've had so many toxic people in my life, and because I'm more of a passive person rather than taking charge, they were in my lives for a lot longer than they needed to be. As soon as they were cut off though, you just feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. You don't have to impress this person anymore. You don't have to do things for this person anymore. You can finally just do things for yourself. And you really shouldn't be friends with people that won't just be friends with you just to be friends with you. You shouldn't be friends with people that you have to impress and always have to do things for. Like, there's a difference between being a good friend and being pushed around by somebody. And if you feel like you're more on the latter, you need to cut that person out of your life. Like, yeah, it's tough. If you go to school with them and let's say you sit with them at lunch, you have a lot of classes with them, it's pretty difficult to cut someone out that you know you're going to be seeing a lot of. It's so much better to deal with that discomfort than to put up with somebody in your life that you have no means of putting, like, you have no reason to put up with them. Don't put up with people just because you feel like you have to. You don't have to do anything. You really don't. This person is not like your leader. You don't have to follow everything they do. You don't have to listen to everything they say. You need to cut these people out of your life, or you're never going to be your full self and you're never going to be truly happy. If you have somebody that's toxic in your life, get rid of them. Any kind of discomfort and everything is so much easier to deal with than dealing with the pain that person causes you. And this next one kind of ties in with toxic people, but simply simplify your life and declutter things out of your life that you don't want in your life anymore. Let's say you do dance or you play a sport or something, but your heart really isn't in it anymore. You really just do it because you feel like you have to. And you have these commitments because you're like, oh, I need to impress colleges, I need to do this, I need to do that. Don't do things and make commitments in your life that you really aren't all about, because it's draining to you, and then the people who are involved in this commitment, it's probably draining to them also because they know that your heart isn't in it anymore. So honestly, if you have commitments in your life that you really just don't want to be committed to anymore, let it go and just start doing things you actually enjoy. I know not all commitments you can just get rid of, like you can't really get rid of school. Just declutter where you can and just get rid of things where you can. And I know it's tough to get rid of some things if you feel like you're disappointing a lot of people or you feel like you need to be doing that thing. Don't. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of their time. And you're just gonna be much happier if you're doing things that you actually enjoy. This next one is kind of like elementary school knowledge, but be nice to people who are nice to you. I know it's like, treat others how you want to be treated, the golden rule, plastered all over first grade classrooms. But really, as we get older, we kind of lose this a little bit, I feel like. I feel like a lot of us are just trying to fit in with people, and if these people we're trying to fit in with are making fun of somebody, you feel like you have to join in to still be a part of the group. If that person that they're bullying has done nothing to you, why are you being mean to them? If someone has done nothing to you, why are you being mean? Is their hair a little weird for you? Or is their outfit a little weird? So, that's what they like wearing. That's what they like doing to their hair. You don't need to bully somebody just to make yourself feel better. Or you don't need to bully somebody to just be cool with your friend. Maybe all of what I'm saying is just a bunch of crap and no one out there actually does these things anymore. It was pretty prominent when I was in school and I only just graduated last year, so I feel like it's still pretty prominent now. But just be nice to people. People like being around people who are nice. They don't like being around people who will gossip the second they can or are just always talking bad about others. It says a lot more about you than it does about the other person. The nicer you are to people, the nicer you'll find people are to you. And it's just good to have that positive energy rather than always gossiping and talking shit about other people. It really gets old after a while. So just be nice. And my last point is just to work hard. Work hard at what you do. Even if you work at a part-time job, right? Let's say you have a part-time job right now and you're a cashier. Obviously, if you're 16 and you're a cashier, you really don't see much room for improvement. If you really do well at your job, your employer will see you a lot better and you'll get a much better recommendation for further jobs rather than if you just went in and half-assed it the entire time and just didn't really care. Really putting your all into your work, whether it be work or schoolwork. With essays in school, if you procrastinate, sometimes it happened to me too. You can wait till the last minute and do an essay and you'll still get an A on it. Like, that's happened to me plenty of times, and I'm sure it happens to a lot of you guys too, and you're like, wow, I only worked for one night and I got the day. I don't need to work hard at all. Really planning ahead and just really putting your all into things feels so much better than half-assing it. Because if you go to work or go to school and you really just put your all into everything, others will notice and they'll probably praise you for it, rather than if you just go in and just do a mediocre job. No one wants to be mediocre at anything. Being mediocre sucks. Because you're not the worst, but you're not the best. You're just kind of in the middle and honestly kind of forgotten about. So if you kind of just throw yourself into something and get really immersed in it and try really hard, your results are going to be a lot better. So work hard at what you do. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for my video today. I hope any of these tips help you guys out and I wasn't just mindlessly rambling, because it kind of felt like I was. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!